So in that great goddess, Shakti, there is the great joy of the conjunction of Sa and Ha of the mantra Soham. So it's Soham in the Vedantic tradition, Hamsa in the Tantric tradition. Oh, excuse me, I blew it. Let me start again. So take two, cut that part. So this is verses 155 and 156. In that great goddess, there is the great joy of the conjunction of Sa and Ha, that is of the mantra Soham in the Vedantic tradition and Hamsa in the Tantric tradition, which is like a yajna or a sacrifice. Pursuing it and resting in it, there is the joy of the mantra. One becomes identified with the great goddess and thus attains oneness with Bhairava. In this practice, the breath is exhaled with the sound Sa and then inhaled with the sound Ha. Throughout the day and night, this mantra naturally repeats itself 21,600 times a day. And such a japa, recitation of the mantras, the goddess mantra is mentioned, it's quite easy to accomplish. And it's difficult for the ignorant. So in this process, it's two stages. One is as we breathe in, we mentally repeat the sound of hum. Hum means I am. As we exhale, we mentally repeat the sound of sa, that. So we're repeating the mantra with the awareness, I am that. I am universal consciousness. We mix it with the breath, hum on the in-breath, sa on the out-breath. As the mind becomes quiet, we no longer need to repeat the mantra hamsa. We begin to listen to the breath within the breath. This is the energy that draws the breath in, hum. The energy that pushes the breath out is the sound of sa. So we're moving beyond the physical sound, even beyond the mental sound of hamsa, to that energy which breathes us. We don't consciously breathe 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's an energy within us that breathes us. And when the mind becomes quiet, we can actually hear the subtle movement of that energy. It's beyond physical form. It's the pasyanti level of speech. It gives rise. It's the sound of the prana, the life force, living and breathing through us. So we simply listen to the sound of hamsa, and eventually we get to the point of the primal pulsation, the primal spanda of consciousness. We get to the awareness of pure awareness, I am, without words, without sounds. And it's this awareness that's the true mantra, it's the power of the mantra. It's the expression of the awareness of our own self. So I'm going to invite you to practice this for a few moments. Close your eyes and gently begin to repeat the mantra hum on the in-breath with the awareness, meaning I am, sa on the out-breath. Hum and sa. If the mind wanders, without adding any additional thought, just bring it back to the sound of the breath. Hum on the in-breath, sa on the out-breath. We'll do this for a couple of minutes. And once again, becoming aware of the breath, gently begin to return. Noticing the breath comes in on its own, exhales on its own. We simply remain the witness of the breath. This is my core practice, and I invite you to try it on your own. Okay, thoughts, questions?
Yeah. Swamiji, as you said, there are two mantras, Soham and Hamsa.
Uh-huh.
Hamsa depicts the Shaivism and Soham is for the Vedantists.
Hamsa for the tradition of Shaivism, the Tantrics use Hamsa. The Vedantins use Soham. The Tibetan tradition, the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, also uses the sound Hangsu. So what we're talking about is a very, very subtle sound, almost imperceptible, where the mind becomes completely quiet and we're listening to that primal, subtle vibration. So these words Hamsa, Soham, Hangso, these are approximations. We're giving a physical sound to a sound that's more subtle than sound itself. So meditate using the mantra Hamsa, or if you prefer Soham, and allow it to take you to that point of your own direct experience of the sound, and then you tell me, is it Hamsa? Is it Soham? Is it Hangso? But it's not so important what the sound is, that it brings us back to our primal awareness, brings us back to the source of our own being, which is the awareness I am.